Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of GregTech New Horizons. How are you guys doing today? How's life? 2 episodes ago, our main goal was to get the Staff of Traveling. We already got it, so what is the next goal? NASA Workbench and the rocket. So everything that we are going to do from now on, apart from everything which is going to be quality of life improvement, is going to be working towards these guys. So what do we need to do? We need to get nether stars, and in order to make the different plates for galactic crafts, we need a lot of TNT. But first off, we are going to start with quality of life improvement, and I got the inspiration from the chemical reactors. If you guys remember, last episode we automated the production of diesel. You have pollution? Really? Anyways, last episode we automated the production of diesel, and the main difference with our previous automation is that there are no cells. In this setup that we have over here, we have to move cells manually in order to make diesel, and that's a manual process. Because of the chemical reactors, I don't have to do that anymore. I just have janky wiring down here. Don't ask me how it works. And that gave me an idea to solve one of my important problems. Cells. I have a lot of them. I have 612 hydrochloric acid. I have 1000 mercury, 450 oxygen, and 430 chlorine. So how are we producing so many cells? Well, one of them is the electrolyzer. I'm electrolyzing a lot of stuff so that I can get byproducts. Another source is the centrifuge, that also makes a lot of byproducts. And since I have removed our giant tank, we have a little bit of real estate to work with. So here is how we're going to set it up. We are going to have 3 electrolyzers and 3 centrifuges. Of course, each and every one of them is going to get a conveyor upgrade. Oh, you already have it. Okay, nice. And on the top, each one of them is going to get a chest. So we put the items inside the chest, the conveyor is going to take them and put them inside the machine. And basically what we are going to do is that we're going to power them using these combustion generators. I'm going to use annealed copper so the losses are not going to be significant. Besides, it's like 2 blocks. It should be okay. So electrolyzers and centrifuges are going to give us a lot of garbage. And by garbage, I mean byproducts. We're going to extract it using conduits. Ouch, 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 stop. But they are also going to give us a lot of fluids, and thankfully we have the ender fluid conduits. And there you go, that is basically our setup. And the reason that I'm using conduits and not GregTech pipes is that, well, it makes it more compact. Because otherwise, you know, I have to have a different pipe for fluids, one for items, one for power, and you kind of run out of sides. I just had to make sure that the cables are not going to connect to the chest because that is ultra low voltage and that is medium voltage, and I don't really want explosions in the base. But here is the plan. Let us say that we want to electrolyze sodalite. One day, yes, thank you. You also need fuel, and very slowly it's going to electrolyze it into aluminium, silicon, sodium, and chlorine. We are extracting the items and the fluids at the same time, and if we put a super chest over here, that will get the chlorine. And in this way, I don't really have to keep the chlorine cells, I can just keep it inside the tank, and whenever I want to use it, I just take it out. Of course, I'm going to do the same thing for mercury, and basically any other gas or fluid which is going to be the byproduct of electrolyzing and centrifuging. For powering the combustion generators, I also put a super tank over there, and what we're going to do, if I manage to get up there, and not fall down, oh come on, is to put some pipes, a pump, and connect it to the generators. That's it basically. I just need to make a few more tanks and see what kind of fluids we are getting. This system is actually very efficient and it's also very neat and tidy. I kind of like it. I should not have done that. But we do have a few issues which we have to address later on. One of them is oxygen. We're getting so much oxygen. It's suffocating. Secondly, we are getting a lot of byproducts and that's causing a problem. And why am I saying it's a problem? Well, because my inventory panel is full and we need to upgrade it. The problem is, I have 5000 sodium, which I'm never going to use. Or I have 2700 aluminium. Also, that is just the dust, but we also have like 1000 aluminium ingots and plates. Together. Also from centrifuging we get a lot of calcium, marble, and also a crazy amount of other stuff. So maybe we should get some drawers. I don't really like drawers, but we kind of have to. And we also need to upgrade them. That is titanium? Are you crazy? It's okay, we can make diamonds. That is fine. Okay, you might notice that I'm still working on the base because I'm tired of its looks, so we're going to have a few changes. But I was thinking that now that I have plenty of mercury, maybe we should start getting platinum. Because here is the point, if you get nickel ore and crush it, and put the crushed nickel ore inside a chemical bath with mercury, you're going to get 2 platinum metallic powder dust. On its own, it's not the best because 3 of them is just going to give you 2 platinum nuggets. But essentially we need platinum in order to get indirium, and we need indirium in order to make a bunch of high-end stuff. So the sooner we start with it, the better. Therefore, I have already started. It's not a very fancy setup, I just have a tank with mercury, I have a chemical bath, and I do have a chest. Basically what I have to do is that we take the crushed nickel ore, we put it inside the chest, and it should be automatically processed. There you go. Also, when I made the steam macerators, I saw a few comments that you were not very happy with my decision. Let me enlighten you with darkness. Let us talk about speed. It can handle 8 ores every 30 seconds, that means an average of 3.7 seconds per ore, correct? This is an HV macerator and it takes 4 seconds, so it's slower. I know, shocking. It is made from bronze-plated bricks. I get the bricks from the roguelike dungeons, and I get the bronze from recycling my old machines in the arc furnace. So minus the few alloys that I had to make in order to make the gears and the frames, which was incredibly cheap because it was also copper and gold I think, it's extremely cheap to make. Again, this is a universal macerator from the HV age. It does require 2 advanced circuits, and each one of those advanced circuits is actually much more expensive than the entire steam macerator itself. Not to mention that we need polyethylene, we need stainless steel, and we need a lot of diamonds and also steel. Another point of difference is that this guy works with steam. And just in case you didn't know, steam is free. Forever. The HV macerator itself is going to burn diesel, which is neither free nor renewable. But Lush, the amount of diesel that it's going to consume is negligible because it doesn't consume that much EU. For 1 ore, you are correct. For 1 stack of ore, you are correct. For around 40,000 pieces of ores that I have in these chests, you're wrong. That's going to count towards something. So these 2 multi-blocks that you see over here are cheaper to make, free to automate, and are faster. And that is true for 99% of the ores that I have. For the rest of the 1%, yes, I might need a byproduct, so I am going to macerate it. Oh, and by the way, I did make a painting machine, and yes, in this mod pack, we can still paint glowstone. So we can remove the garbage torches, and we can have cheaty lights. I really hate torches. They're so disgusting. So it has been a while later, and I have not just been redecorating the base, I was actually working as well. The thing is, I have been making a lot of Teflon, and probably this is going to be our last batch because I don't have that many resources left. I have also been trying to cook a lot of stainless steel because we need a lot of that for today. Which is the main reason that we set up this system earlier, because all the resources that we need are actually byproducts, like fluorine for Teflon and chrome for stainless steel. What are we out of? Iron. Because in order to go to the moon, in addition to the problem that we have with the nether stars, we also have to make this stupid thing, the rocket. If you look at the recipe of the heavy duty plates, you might notice a problem. Well, this is the default recipe in a compressor from Galacticraft, but that is disabled, and we have to do it inside an implosion compressor. Making the implosion compressor multi-block itself is not going to be a challenge, but getting the TNT or the industrial TNT or dynamite that we need in order to make the heavy duty plates, that is a challenge. Basically, the better type of explosive that you use is going to be more efficient because you use less of it, but I think we're just going to go with TNT. Basically, the better explosive that we use is going to be much more efficient because we need less of it. For instance, industrial TNT is just 2, while we need 16 powder barrel, which is the garbage one. Of course, to get started with, we are going to use powder barrel because I do not have the capability of making TNT, but eventually we are going to upgrade to TNT rather than industrial TNT because that only requires sulfuric acid and toluene, which is not that bad. Because it is a byproduct of cracked naphtha and we get it from a distillation tower, so it's going to be easy. Because I think at this very moment we are actually voiding the naphtha. Yes, literally. It's being voided. So all of that being said, we need to make 3 multi-blocks. One of them is the implosion compressor, obviously, which is made out of steel, so it's not that bad. The other one is going to be the oil cracking unit, which is made from stainless steel, and that is going to be a problem. And of course we also need another distillation tower, and this one should be massive. We shall start with the implosion compressor, because basically I like explosions. Who doesn't? Oh, there is an electric version. Okay, then no. We need reinforced stone, which is made from wet concrete. That is actually very cheaty, but I'm not going to complain. Also, we need more. That is inside a chemical bath. Which one is a chemical bath? You. 3 pieces of reinforced stone, and here is the implosion compressor. The quest itself is complete, but I haven't actually made the blocks yet. Discounted from a previous quest. For me personally, this is a daily problem. I open this chest, which is the output of all of my machines, and then I'm like, why did I make fine tin wire? And so many of it. Oh, transistors. Okay, that explains. Transistors like that is incredibly cheap, so why the hell not? we make stacks and stacks. By the way, I just wanted to let you know that I'm making more nichrome so that we can upgrade more coils. So I was preparing the parts that we need in order to make the Implosion Compressor, and I got to the input bus and output bus, which is essentially how you put stuff inside the multi-block and take it out. But here is the deal. You might notice that this is an input bus from the LVH. What does it mean? It means that it has a capacity of 4 stacks. The problem is, you always have a circuit, so you only have 3 stacks. The MV version allows me to have 9 stacks and the HV version 16 stacks. It's kind of expensive because we need iron chest, we need HV machine hull, and we need polyethylene. And I think I'm going to do that for a lot of machines. Not necessarily the output hatch, because yes, we do have an output chest, so that's not going to be a problem, but all the inputs. And although I have dismantled our diesel setup, our polyethylene is still here. Yes, so we should be good. We're in a hole. Okay, I made the double copper plates because I wanted to go with the MV, but we're going to go with HV. So we can recycle you. You're going to give me ingots, right? Yes. I also remembered that we have a wonderful way of making chests using an HV assembler. Yes, the HV versions are actually really nice. Look at the amount of space. Let us try this one, because making silicon was always a pain, and we also got an upgrade. Previously this was the silicon that we could make, and that gave us 16 wafers. Now we have another one, which is this one, and if you cut it, it will give you 32. The reason that we couldn't make it until now was the heat capacity. It's almost 2500, but now that we have better coils, we can make it. It's just nitrogen. Can I recycle the input bus? No. Okay, then you, my dear friend, go in the trash. So here is the nitrogen, silicon, and glowstone. Oh, you don't need the circuit. Do you work? Oh, I broke them, so we have to restart? No. Are you not glowstone? Do you notice the problem? This is the output bus. Oh, I even have 2 output buses. Okay, I made a mistake. This is an input bus, and now you should work, yes, okay. So as usual, the Implosion Compressor is also a 3x3x3 hollow multi-block structure which has an input bus, output bus, the controller, the muffler hatch, energy hatch, and maintenance hatch. I am using 2 MV energy hatches with 4 combustion generators, but then I noticed the recipes. All of them are low voltage and it takes only 1 second. So I don't know, maybe I went for an overkill. We're just going to activate one of them. And just to make sure that everything works, we're going to make a few steel plates, which obviously is going to depend on how many powder barrel we can make. 28. That's not bad. The question is, how do you make gunpowder? Oh, it's just sulfur. Or even this. All of them are cheap. Of course, the part which is not cheap is the triple steel plates. But it's okay, let us see if it works. Barrel goes in, steel goes in, and we just activate you. Oh, it's done. No? It's not working. Maybe it has to do something with the fact that I have too many energy hatches. So you go in again, and we'll see if it works. Okay, now it works. Yes, that was the problem. I have 2 energy hatches, apparently I have to provide power to both of them? I don't know. I don't really care, it consumes like 1 millibucket of diesel. It has been a while later and I haven't done anything. This is basically what I've been doing, just running around, looking at recipes. Because we have a problem. Do you know what? So we know how to make a rocket, the problem is making the explosives. Since the main ingredients for making TNT is incredibly expensive, it does make sense to go with a much more efficient TNT, which is the industrial TNT, this one. So what is the problem over here? Well, we need something called Nitration Mixture, which is a mixture of nitric acid and sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is not going to be a problem, we have already made sulfuric acid and we can make it in bulk. Why? Because we are getting hydrogen sulfide from our refinery over here. We just have to mix it with water, we will get diluted sulfuric acid, and then we put it inside the distillery and we just get sulfuric acid. So that is easy peasy. The other part of the mixture is nitric acid, which thankfully also does not have a crazy recipe because we just need ammonia and oxygen. And where are we making ammonia? Here, in our farm. But do you see the problem? Our sugarcane production is garbage, therefore these are not working, and therefore, shockingly, we are not getting that much ammonia. That's it. Also, one more thing that we should remember is that nitric acid is incredibly important because that is the way that we are going to get platinum. So if we manage to automate and optimize everything that I have just mentioned, we're going to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. We will get platinum and we will also go to the moon. But we come to the actual problem. I need 1 chemical reactor in order to make nitric acid. I need another chemical reactor over here in order to take the sulfuric naphtha and convert it into naphtha. And then I'm going to need an oil cracker to take that naphtha and make the steamed cracked naphtha. which essentially has to go into a massive distillation tower so that we can make TNT. So based on my calculation, we are going to need 3 or 4 chemical reactors, 1 distillation tower, 1 oil cracker, and a few machines in order to provide us with hydrogen, oxygen, water, and other material that we need. And all of those machines are going to need stainless steel. And so far, we're not doing that great. So here is the solution, and this is what we are going to do. We are going to go to the moon, not with industrial TNT or dynamite, but with powder barrel. This is cheap, easy to manufacture, and I don't really care about it. And in the meantime, we are also going to work towards getting better crops, getting ammonia, getting nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and everything that I have just mentioned in order to get industrial TNT. However, they are going to be done in parallel, and they're not going to be dependent on each other. And I think to get us started, we're going to take care of nitric acid first. Which was not something super complicated, as I have already mentioned. We just needed a chemical reactor, we give it ammonia, we give it oxygen, and we will get nitric acid. I also made a second chemical reactor so that we're taking the acetic acid from the distillery and we're just making acetone. Yes, it's over here. It's very slow, but the machines are not working. Cause I did realize that yes, our crops are garbage, but pipes from GregTech are more garbage. If you use conduits and you put them on round robin, everything works. Literally. Yes, you see, all of them are working on this side and probably also on this side. Perfect. The crops that we have over here have an average growth of 6 and gain of 1, but I have been working on crops. I still need to mass produce the seeds, but basically we're at growth 18 and gain 10. So we have nitric acid, we have better distribution system, and we're going to have super crops. Another very important fact is that over here at our farming area, we're also getting methane, CO2, ethanol, and methanol, which I think we are going to use them for getting carbon. Maybe not the methane for the moment, but the rest of them, until we get methane from our oil refinery. But that also basically means I need a little bit more real estate, so this part of the mountain should go. Very good, very good. Now we have a decent space for future expansions. What is our next order of business for today? The clean room. It has to go. It's too small, it's not in an ideal location, so we need to move it. Okay, the clean room is gone and we are not going to assemble it today because I don't have enough black steel. I want to expand it and we don't have enough resources for it. So what are we going to do with this room? Good question. We are going to convert it into a dedicated room for making circuit components. Literally all of them. At least I think. Previously we used to do everything in one MV assembling machine, but now we have a dedicated room with everything that we need. All of the machines that you see in this room are high voltage except the extractor, and yes, we had a very small explosion. I basically lost one extractor and one, I think, MV assembling machine because that caused the problem. But generally we are managing everything using conduits and filters. Let us say, for example, we want to make SMD resistors. What do we need? We need fine electron wire. What do I have to do? I just put electron ingots inside here, they go inside a wire mill, they get converted into wires, and then they go inside another wire mill, and we get the fine wire. Of course I can also chain them together, but maybe later on we will do that. One thing that I should probably mention is that this room is probably going to be changed because our needs for different circuits is also going to change. So maybe what I'm going to do is that I'm going to leave a little bit of space just in case we need new machines and new automations. But these are basically all the material and machines we need in order to make the workstation outside of the clean room. Except the plastic circuit board, which I think we're going to automate next episode. Oh, and by the way, all of these assembling machines are going to use polyethylene, and the tank is for polyethylene. But it looks really bad. Yes, we have conduits on top. So maybe we can put the tank over here, and I don't know, maybe just run the cable from the roof? Yeah, this should be much better. The tank is centered, and you don't really see the cables. I also need another tank for diesel, but I have to make more fluid conduits. This is not the Ender fluid conduit, which is expensive, this is just the normal fluid conduit, which can handle only one fluid. But it's relatively cheap because you just need dark steel and steel fluid pipe. That's it. Oh, I did not think this through. You won't see the chest. It's okay, I'll fix it later. Why does it have to be so expensive to make caution blocks? That's solid steel machine casing. I can make it out of iron. I still have almost 6000 iron left. I can waste a few blocks. That is actually nice. It brings a little bit of color variation. I know everything is grey, but you know, what I meant was textures. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Next episode, we're going to go to the moon. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.